What's going on, Titans? My name is Aaron Hall. I am a strength coach, and if you're here to get bigger and stronger, then welcome to the Legion. So today we're going to talk about exercise selection. So this is going to be the exercises you choose for your program in order to get bigger and stronger. So the main thing we need in trying to get bigger, trying to get stronger, is tension. Tension is the main stimulus for growth, whether that's strength or size. Now, what tension just means is how heavy is the weight that you're lifting. Now, naturally, the exercises that allow you to lift the most weights are gonna give you the most growth, the most strength, and the most muscle size. So these will be movements that use multiple joints. These are called your compound lifts. These are gonna be your presses, your pulls, your squats, your deadlifts. These are things that are gonna use multiple joints. For presses, you got shoulder and elbow. For pulls, you got shoulder and elbow. And then squats, you got hips, knees, and even ankles are getting involved in the situation as well. Now, with that being said, single joint or isolation movements do have their place. Now, the main benefit of single joint or isolation movements is that they don't generate as much fatigue as those compound movements. So isolation movements can be used to increase overall volume without increasing fatigue as much as the compound movements. So you do want to focus on the compound movements, but you want to sprinkle in the isolation movements to supplement, so you can increase the growth stimulus without increasing as much fatigue. So the basis of your size and strength building training should be revolved around the compound movements. However, you're gonna make sure you're doing the isolation movements as supplements to increase the volume in order to increase the size and strength gains of any particular phase of training. Now, what would be the best equipment for your strength gains then? So if obviously being that tension, weight is gonna be the most important factor when it comes to building size and strength, we want equipment that's gonna allow us to use the most tension, and that's gonna be a barbell. The barbell is by far the absolute biggest instrument, most important instrument you can use in building size and strength, because you can load up a lot of weight. You can lift a lot of weight with a barbell, more than you can with pretty much any other medium of training. So there's a reason why the big four movements are all barbell movements. These are your bench presses, your squats, your deadlifts, and your overhead press. You're using multiple joints, using a barbell. Therefore, you can get the most strength gains and the most size gains using these types of movements. And so your next best tool is gonna be dumbbells. And the dumbbells are great because they can increase your range of motion, therefore increasing the number of muscles that are actually activated while you're doing a lift. So if you think about doing a row, you can get further back with a row than you can with a barbell, because your core is in the way when you do a barbell. You're gonna run into your core. So to increase the range of motion and get more muscles engaged in the movement, you can use a dumbbell instead of the barbell. So that's gonna be your next best tool. So some more common equipment that you will see in a gym that can play a very important role into your strength and size gains will be like cables and machines. These are gonna have different benefits for different reasons. Now, cables are great for increasing tension through a fuller range of motion. So just to explain that a little bit deeper, with barbells and dumbbells, your angle of force is up and down. You're fighting against gravity. That's pretty much the only way you can push against gravity, is to push up, right? Where gravity's trying to push things down, you're trying to push them back up, right? So if I'm laying on my back, I'm doing a bench press, gravity's pulling the weight this way, boom, that's effective. Overhead press, boom, that's effective. If I'm doing a bent over row, boom, that's effective. However, if I need a diagonal angle of force or horizontal angle of force, I can only accomplish that with cables and machines. Now, cables allow me to go through a fuller range of motion. So I can do something like a cable crossover, boom, right here, and I'm seeing tension through a fuller range of motion, something that a barbell or dumbbell just isn't capable of doing. Now, with machines, these do your stabilization for you. So machines are a great way to cap off your exercise at the end when you're fatigued and form is kind of falling apart. The machine does the stabilization for you, so you can really just focus on force production throughout a movement. So cables, machines definitely have their place. You want to prioritize the barbell movements, dumbbell movements, then use cable and machine movements as supplements for your training. So as a general rule, to get bigger and stronger, you're gonna wanna prioritize your compound movements. These are your benches, your squats, your deadlifts, your overhead presses, your rows, even your pulls. Things that are gonna use multiple joints. Then you're gonna wanna supplement that with movements that increase the range of motion, that allow you to see tension through different angles. Then of course, you wanna throw in those isolation movements, your curls, your extensions, your lateral raises, your leg extensions, leg curls, things like that. They're gonna increase your volume without increasing as much fatigue. So you can get more volume in, more size in, more strength in. So that pretty much concludes it on exercise selection. Remember, big movements, big gains. Make sure you manage that fatigue, throw in those isolation movements to get more volume. So all my Titans, thanks for watching. Go ahead and share with your friends so we can build the Legion. And if you're not a Titan, thanks for watching, but you don't need to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get the biggest, strongest community in YouTube right here on this channel. So stay tuned. Every week we're dropping some new videos, new information, giving you the knowledge you need to get as big and strong as you want to get. And of course, you'll give me the inspiration I need to stay on my journey to get as big and as strong as I want to get.
Snakes get scraped off the bottom of my shoe. They saying,